The wealthy don't keep thousands of dollars in the bank, but you might be stacking up cash thinking you're building wealth. In today's video, I'll show you why keeping too much cash is costing you instead of helping you. The first reason is cash loses value to inflation. Why do you think your cash can't buy as much as it could last year? It's not because you secretly spent it, it's because the value of goods and services go up every single year. The value of your cash decreases. That reduces your purchasing power. For example, let's say you wanted to buy a $2,500 camera and you have $5,000 in savings. That camera will cost you half your money. Let's say you decided to wait and buy the camera instead 2 years from now, and now the camera costs you $2,700. Over half your savings just because you waited to buy. Next is an underrated reason. It hinders repaying back your debt. Like I said earlier, your cash loses value because of inflation, so your purchasing power is reduced. Its own, that might be a bad thing, but it hurts a lot more when you have a lot of debt to pay back. Your debt increases every year you don't pay it back because of interest. It's going to outweigh the compounding power of your savings every single time. Now, when it comes to paying off your debt, you could approach this in two ways. Let's take the $5,000 you have in savings, but let's say it's earning 5% interest annually in a high-yield savings account, and you also have a $3,000 balance in credit card debt. If you just save your money and don't pay off your debt, you'll earn $520 the next year. But your credit card debt, assuming you didn't pay it down, is going to increase by another $600. But credit card debt, assuming you didn't pay it down, is going to increase to $600. Whilst you earned $250 in your savings, credit interest grew at a higher rate. Credit card debt grew by another $600, which means your net loss is $350 in total. Now for the second example, let's say you took the $3,000 you have in saving, pay off your debt completely. If you're left with $2,000 in your bank account, after 1 year you'd have $2,100. So in this instance you have less savings, your debt is completely paid off and you can still save freely without guilt. Now if we compare the net worth of both examples, you'll find if you kept the debt, you'd have a net worth of $1,650. If your debt, your net worth would be $2,100. The reason is it's a hindrance towards your goals. Having too much money in the bank can prevent you from saving towards other financial goals, save you from accomplishing other financial goals, including saving for a house deposit, saving for retirement, even investing in a side venture. Well, if you wanted to invest in a YouTube channel, that would take money, equipment, and coaching. If you saved all your money instead of investing it into those things, you'd make less money over time, killing your earning potential. And that would also affect other goals like saving for retirement, saving for a house deposit, use the extra business income for. The fourth one is painfully obvious, and it's simply saving too much money in the bank is absolutely pointless. Most people's emergencies require up to 12 months of savings. They usually only need about 3 to 6 months to cover medical emergencies, job loss. But people justify continuously saving because they don't know how much they actually need in their savings. This leads to more frivolous spending on wants and things they don't really plan for. So how much should you have saved? Well, that answer depends on you and your goals. If you're in your 30s and your 40s and you'll be working most of your life, keep above 1 year's worth of emergency expenses. Don't keep more than 1 year's worth of emergency expenses and other expenses. People under 35 have less than $6,000 in their account. And the older people get, the more money they have in the account. But after 74 years old, it drops off because people are using money for their retirement. The temptation here is to save as much as the average person saves. But the average person isn't actually good with their money. Save for what you personally need. Here's an example. I spend $1,200. For me, I spend $1,200 in rent, $200 in food, $150 on direct debits. So the amount I would need to save for a month is $1,539. So calculate how much you spend in a month and times that by 3 to 6 to 12, and that's how much you need to save between 3 months to a year. But save according to how much you want your savings to cover you for, on what other people have. Thank you for watching, guys. Comment down below your savings goals and how much you have saved in your bank accounts. I'll see you guys next time.